Escaping Polygamy was equally entertaining, adrenaline-pumping, and educational during its 4-year run on A&E before it aired for a year on Lifetime, an A&E subsidiary channel, for the 4th and last season. It captivated viewers by providing an opposite view to glorifying polygamy in shows such as Seeking Sister Wife and Sister Wives. Unfortunately, some people featured in the show passed away during its time on TV and in the years after it went off the air in 2019. We've studied who they were and how viewers remembered them. The Kingston Clan, also known as The Order, is a polygamy group based in Salt Lake City, Utah, associated with harmony and collective work on the surface. However, many women have shared stories of child labor, forced marriages, several forms of abuse, and rough punishments for leaving, actually escaping. Additionally, investigations and convictions of group members have unveiled many other things the clan would prefer to keep a secret. Some examples include government grants fraud, manipulation to acquire property, internal conflicts, and sometimes even murder or self-harm. Many group members unsurprisingly died from natural causes, illnesses, and accidents, although only a tiny percentage of all deaths became public knowledge. Leroy Barlow, Roy Jeffs, born on 5th June 1992, was one of the best-remembered people who passed away. He was Rachel and Becky Jeffs' brother, one of the first to accuse his father of wrongdoing, including sexual abuse, and the first offspring to leave the cult. Viewers learned about Roy Jeffs' parents, Gloria, Nee Barlow, and Warren Jeffs, during the second season, when the show focused on his father, the president and prophet of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, often referred to as FLDS, who, according to CNN reports, had over 60 children. Roy reported having a happy childhood filled with gardening and landscaping, but received little love from his father, and saw his mother suffer psychological abuse. Roy separated from his broader family between 10 and 14, and briefly returned to his father's massive YFZ ranch property. He was sent away at 14 for confessing to his father that he was attracted to some of his wives, who were close in age. Roy returned to the ranch at 16, then worked 6 years on many projects, primarily doing hard labor at FLDS enclaves. On 10 February 2014, Roy purchased a one-way ticket to Salt Lake City, Utah, feeling isolated from his family and having a lousy relationship with coworkers, plus becoming destitute because the higher-ups didn't pay him for a long time, and so left the cult. He didn't think that his father sexually abused him, something 3 of his sisters reported after leaving the church. However, after he read about their experiences, they triggered suppressed memories, which made Roy see things differently, and realized that his father had touched him when he was 6. Roy continued a seemingly happy life after escaping, noting that he was an LGBTQ member, and falling in love with things forbidden to him growing up, such as the TV show named Friends, Disney movies, and singer Taylor Swift. Sadly, it seemed that he suffered from childhood trauma and still harbored negative thoughts. Roy died on 29 May 2019 from an apparent suicide at his home in Salt Lake City, estranged from most of his siblings, and without seeing his mother for over 6 years because she was in hiding. His family organized a GoFundMe account to pay for funeral costs, and his service was held on 8 June at Larkin Sunset Gardens Mortuary in the nearby town of Sandy, his birthplace. Enraged Seth Gordon Peterson, age 25, apparently hallucinating from a drug overdose, killed his mom Susan Di Hansen Peterson, aged 45, who had 15 children, and brother James Peterson, then aged 23, on 2 November 2016, in a field near a Hiawatha, Utah, farmhouse at 6 p.m. 3 hours after a presumed neighbor reported a suspicious incident, which the police found was not a threat. Seth used a high-powered rifle found at the scene and fled, leading to a 5-mile car chase. After deputies cornered him, he left the car and tried to run away, but was captured and booked into the Carbon County Jail. Seth was charged with attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated murder, vehicle theft, and failure to stop at the command of law enforcers. Viewers of the show know Susan as the sister of Shirley Di Hansen Kingston, or Shirley Snow, ex-wife of John Daniel Kingston, and mother to Colin Snow and Chanel DeRio. Therefore, Susan was Chanel and Colleen's aunt, and mother-in-law to the sisters' first cousin, Amanda Kingston Peterson, who often appeared in the show. Susan and James were members of the LDS Church. She was part of the mentoring group Limitless and married Shane Peterson, who cared for 9 of their children at home. The family started a GoFundMe page to cover the funeral costs and help Shane get over the heart-wrenching incident. In April 2018, the court gave Seth a sentence of 25 years to life for the murder of his brother and a maximum of 15 years for manslaughter. He claimed he saw 2 demons, but was using crystal meth. Colin Snow shared the story about his drug use on social media and received a mixed reaction because the family believed that he wasn't himself when he committed those violent acts. Perhaps confirmation of drug use. Tom Green, who promoted his polygamous lifestyle in the documentary, 1 man, 6 wives, and 29 children, died of pneumonia exacerbated by COVID-19 on 28 February 2021 in Salt Lake City. He was born on 9th June 1948 and growing up was a member of the LDS. He even went on a notable Great Lakes mission between 1967 and 1969. In his 30s, Tom converted to a denomination of LDS because his former church had forbidden polygamy in the 1890s. Tom was arrested and charged with child rape in 2002 for having relations with his 13-year-old supposedly legal wife, Linda Kunz, and released on parole in 2007. While he didn't appear in Escaping Polygamy, the cast members saved one victim, Candace, from becoming his wife. After she canceled her wedding and found her footing outside the planned plural marriage, Candace agreed to appear in an online campaign to help people leave polygamy. In a video she filmed for the Holding Out Help, nonprofit organization started by Tonia Tuel, a polygamous community escapee, she briefly thanked the women who helped her and talked about her prospective experience in marrying Tom. Although the family kept the news to themselves, an online obituary for Martha Leanne Barlow on 3 January 2022 provided an unfortunate update. She was born on 9 September 1994 in Utah and passed away on 28 December 2021 in Florida, suggesting that she left the Kingston Clan at some point. Her friends and family described her as bubbly, adventurous, friendly, and hardworking. They also noted that Martha loved animals, especially her puppy Roxy, and was talented at writing stories and poems, drawing, and painting. Although Martha had many siblings, 3 noteworthy are Yolanda Barlow, Rosie Barlow, and Rulon Broadbent, all from St. George, Utah. Yolanda appeared in the show's 4th season and helped her younger sister Rosie escape the groups practicing the FLDS religion. It's unclear whether Martha appeared on screen among many other cult members during some seasons. The same can be said for Martha's brother, Frederick Barlow, who passed away more than a year earlier on 7th December, and her half-brother Lee Scott Barlow, who also preceded her in death. In September 2015, during the show's 2nd season, Carolyn Hughes, one of the wives of Joe Kingston, brother of the Order leader, crashed her SUV carrying 8 children. Another vehicle smashed into the SUV after it went off the road, and one child, her 3-year-old daughter Paisley, died on the spot. Carolyn, 24, was charged in April 2016 with negligent homicide, receiving that punishment because no one in the vehicle wore a seatbelt. Emily Tucker, a former member of the Kingston Clan who left in 2001, noted that they were taught that the Lord would protect them, and wives would regularly fit 7 or 8 kids in a little Toyota Corolla, sometimes even in the trunk. Once again, while likely, it's hard to say when Carolyn and her children appeared in the show. Fans may also remember a hairy encounter in the show's 4th season, when someone could have lost their life. Matt, a former Mesa police detective, and Tawny Browning, a supervising producer who researches families and interviews the escapees, were a married couple hired to protect members running away from the cult. However, while the two were escorting Jesse Rayner and his 2 wives and 8 children alongside cast members, Jessica, Chanel, and Andre, a red laser suddenly pointed at them individually. After Matt realized that it came from a high-powered long-distance rifle, he yelled at everyone to duck and hide behind nearby cars. He then learned that Jesse had been part of a religious militia organization within the Apostolic United Brethren, or AUB, a religious group he'd fled from in the middle of the night. A respected news publication, the Salt Lake Tribune, confirmed the group's existence a few months later, which gave credibility to Jesse's claims that he partook in paramilitary exercises with them in woods in Mount Pleasant, Utah. Our inquiry showed that life was unpredictable. Even people closest to you could have ill intentions, such as the son who killed his mother and brother while on drugs. Some causes of death show the belief that the Lord grants invincibility, because religious leaders who hold the keys to heaven are not enough to avoid disasters, such as a mother killing her daughter in a car crash. We also saw that leaving the cult is only the beginning. Those who escape, such as Jess Rayner, risk their lives during and after the run. Others flee, but cannot adjust to living in the world outside their community, such as Roy Jeffs. Although the Order, AUB, and FLDS lead unusual lives, the reasons for their members' deaths are usually ordinary. Most never leave the tight-lipped polygamous groups, mainly because they teach their members not to mention their lifestyle to others. Therefore, people curious about families in the show, even if they appeared in the background, will only find out about individuals close to escaping polygamy cast members or victims they have helped escape. In rare cases, local media reports notable deaths, but usually only if they make headlines. As to law enforcement involving such communities, that's another story.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.